Stock market data sheet on Excel. Class 12th Applied Mathematics Practical 10. For this, first of all, we'll click on the browser and then we'll type on that Office 365. Office 365. Then we'll click on the site. Here so many sites are there, so we'll click on Office 365 login, and you can see it here. It is written that collaborate for free with online versions of Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel and OneNote. So we can use these apps if we have opened a free account or we have subscribed Office 365. So I am already having an account, a free account in Office 365. So I am in my account now. So here I am, and you can see that here so many apps are there. So out of all these apps, I want to work on Excel. So I will click on the Excel logo, then on the new blank workbook. So clicking on that, I will go in my Excel sheet. So this is a Excel sheet, online Excel sheet. So first let us write the heading of the practical, that is stock market data sheet on Excel. Stock market data sheet on Excel. So this will help us to have a watch on our portfolio. So first we'll write here stocks, and let us take initially two stocks. One I am going to take is Reliance, and the other one is State Bank of India, that is SBI. So now next what we'll do is select both of them, that is Reliance and SBI, and here there are so many options. We'll be going in data. Then you can see here this symbol is there below the stocks. You can click on that. So once we click that, the Reliance and SBI we have written that will be converted into stocks. So the question mark is there because the stocks can be purchased from Bombay Stock Exchange or from National Stock Exchange. We click on the question mark, so many options are there. So here the second one is looking like Reliance Industries. Let's see again. So it is Reliance P1. So and the third one is Reliance Industries, but from Bombay Stock Exchange, that's BSE. What we want is Reliance Industries from National Stock Exchange, that is NSE. So we'll click on select, and once we select it, we have got the stock of Reliance. Same way we'll do for State Bank of India. Now we have selected from the National Stock Exchange. So things should work out on its own. So for that, what we'll do is we'll make a table, and for that we'll go in home again, and then we'll click on format as table. So clicking on that, there are so many options. Out of these, say let us take this orange one. So my table as headers is okay. So click on OK, and once we click, you can see that we have got a table here. And after that, you can see this rectangle type is there, and with bars in there. If you click on that, we are having here so many informations. So out of that, we want ticker symbol. So what is ticker symbol? It is the symbol by which the stock exchange will execute our orders. So when we click on that, you'll see that automatically we are getting the ticker symbol for Reliance Industries and State Bank of India. Now you can see that this small thin line is there between say the column A and B, and separating it. When we double click it, it will increase the width of our column. Now next, again click on that small rectangle, and from here what we need to know is industry, because it's very important to know that in which industry we are investing. So we can see there is oil and gas, and the second one is banking service. Now again we'll double click. So when we double click, we can see that the width has again increased. Now again, this time we'll click on price. So that will give us the most updated price from the stock market. So this is the price of Reliance and that of State Bank of India, 1 share each. Now next, let us write here. We'll be typing here number of shares. So number of shares, and next let's first increase the width of this column. So we are just double clicking between E and the thin line where it is. There we have to double click. So here we can see that the width has increased. Now next we'll increase our table and write there average price of share. So average price of share, because we may have not bought the share on the same day, on different days, so the average price will fluctuate. So average price of share. Now again we have increase the width of the column. Then next we'll write portfolio cost, is how much money we have to spend. So again let us increase the width. So here we can see that the width has increased again. Now next we'll write here portfolio value. So what is the present price? So that is what will give us, and again double clicking to increase the width. So we have got portfolio value. Next, how much profit or loss we are getting, that will next column will make up that profit or loss. So here also we will just double click it, increase the width. Next, profit or loss percentage. So we'll, in percentage, how much profit or loss we are getting, that will write profit or loss percentage. So percentage. Now again we'll double click on the thin line and the width will of the column will increase. Then at the end let us write here portfolio weightage. So that means how much weight each stocks is having in our portfolio. So again double clicking on the thin line so that the width will increase. So it has increased. Now as told that the number of shares we may have, for example of Reliance, we may have bought on the same day, so on different days, and we need to do the total of that. For that, what we'll do is we'll create new sheet, and here we'll be writing transaction history. So in sheet 2 we are going and writing transaction history. That is, we'll make a record of how much and when we have purchased the stocks of our portfolio. So first again we'll make here we'll write stocks, and then first of all let's go back to sheet 1 and see what we have purchased. Reliance Industries. So we'll write here Reliance Industries, Reliance. Then here next we'll write SBI, State Bank of India. Again selecting both of them, then going to data, clicking on stocks, and so it has been converted into stocks. Now but question mark is there because it is having because it doesn't know from where we want to purchase. We want to purchase it from National Stock Exchange, so we'll click on National Stock Exchange. Now same we'll do for SBI. So clicking on the question mark, here also we'll click on National Stock Exchange. So here also it has been converted to now stock. So again double clicking on the thin line so the width of the column will increase. Now we'll convert this into a table so that things will work out on their own. So here format as table, clicking on format as table, and from here let us take this say black color table, click on this OK, and now it has been converted to a table. Now here this rectangular strip has come again. So from here we'll write down the ticker symbol, because that is useful for executing our orders in the stock exchange. So ticker symbol, again increasing the width of the column. Then next, here let us write shares. So here this outstanding has come, so we'll delete that because we don't want that, we want only shares. So now we'll just double click again between C and D on thin line, so the width of the column has increased. Next, let us write here. So here we'll be writing next let's write here buy price. So it will be best thing, buy price. So at what price we have bought the shares. So buy price, again double clicking here, and here we'll double click between D and E, and the width will increase. Then next we'll write is next, let us write here portfolio cost. Portfolio, how much money we are using for buying the stocks. Portfolio cost, again double clicking on thin line between E and F. So here we have got this portfolio cost. Now here we can see that this says we have missed one thing. So let us include insert one column here, that is on which date we have purchased, that is missing here. So let us insert one column which will tell us in date, on which date we are purchasing a particular stock. So date. So here let us assume that we have purchased say shares of Reliance on, say we can take any month. So we are taking here say 8th June 2021, and that of State Bank of India, let us take it as 9th June 2021. So and shares, let us assume that we are taking each 100 and 100. So State Bank of India, so we are buying 100. Now as far as price concerned, for that what we'll do is first of all we must know, let us increase the just gap between portfolio and cost. Now next, for this buy price, let us take it very close to the print price. So for that we'll move to sheet 1. We can see that from there we can take the buy price of Reliance near about 2000, and that of State Bank of India near about 420. So that will be okay. Then portfolio cost, what we'll do is we'll multiply the number of shares. So clicking on the cell shares are there of Reliance multiplied by the buy price. So total portfolio cost we are getting. Now let us increase our table, so our transaction history. So again we are buying Reliance Industries and State Bank of India, so SBI, that is. So here as soon as click here, the question mark has come, so we'll select from National Stock Exchange, that is NSE. So ticker symbol is coming automatically because this is a table. Now let us suppose that this is on 10th June we have purchased, 10th June, and the State Bank of India, that let us suppose that we are going to buy it on say 11th of June 2021, 11th June 2021, and the number of shares, let us take it as 100, and buy price say 2100. Automatically the portfolio cost will be calculated. And same way for State Bank of India, let us take 100 shares and the buy price as 410, and again portfolio cost is calculated. Now let us increase further our this table of transaction. So let us buy two different stocks other than Reliance and State Bank of India. So let us buy Wipro. So we'll write here Wipro, and it has automatically understood that we want to buy from National Stock Exchange. So this also, let us say buying on say 14th of June 2021, and shares let us say again, let us buy 100 shares, and then next let us buy let us buy Wipro again. Say Wipro again we are buying. So buying Wipro again on 15th of June now. 15th of June 2021. So 15th June 2001 again we are buying Wipro. So and number of shares also let's buy 100 shares, and next let us buy say Infosys. So we are going to buy Infosys, and here let us so take the date as buy date as 16th June 2021, and the question mark is there because it wants to ask us from which stock exchange we want to buy it. So the options will come here. So this is New York Stock Exchange that we don't want, and then Bombay Stock Exchange, and the third one, that is National Stock Exchange. So we'll click on select, and let us say we are buying here say 100 shares, and again let us buy Infosys. So we are again buying Infosys, and let us say buy this on say 17th of June 2021. So 17th June 2021, and this time let us say buy 200 shares. So we are buying 200 shares. Now suppose that we want to change our stock exchange from National Stock Exchange to say Bombay Stock Exchange. So for that what we'll do is we will just click here, and here you can see that we are having this data type. So in that, go in change, click on change, and then here we can see that Infosys Limited XNSC Infosys there. So just delete the stock exchange, just write Infosys Limited only, and then search. So when you click on search, you can see that what we are having here is so many options, and we'll click on Bombay Stock Exchange, so BSE. So now here the ticker symbol is for Bombay Stock Exchange. So now when we'll buy the stock, that will be from Bombay Stock Exchange, but this is what we do not want. We want to buy it from National Stock Exchange only. So again doing the same thing, clicking on change, and here we'll just delete that the ticker symbol of BSE, and again Infosys Limited, and then click on search. So when we do that, so here National Stock Exchange we have got. So click on that, and then again you can see that it is now the stock which will be purchasing, that is from National Stock Exchange, so NSE. Now let us go back to sheet 1. So here we'll have to add the two stocks which we have having the record in our transaction history, because here we are not having that record. So this is our portfolio tracker. So in Wipro we have written, and here we have written Infosys, because and Infosys is not again having a doubt from which stock exchange we have to take. So we'll click on National Stock Exchange, and now so all the details are filling on their own. There is ticker symbol, industry, and the latest price. So again we'll be going in sheet 2, and just we'll put price on our own. So let us take the buy price as 520 of Wipro, first one, second one as 540, and then for Infosys just take very close to that, that is it is 1568.2. So we'll be buying our stocks of Infosys very close to that. So now we'll be moving back to sheet 2, and from here let us say we are buying it at first one as 1560. So 1560 is the price, and second one let us buy it at say 1540. So 1540. So portfolio cost will automatically calculated. Now what we'll do is, so this all data we are having, we'll move back to sheet 1 and take the help of sheet 2, number of shares. Now for we have for example this Reliance we have purchased on different days. So one way is that we can just manually calculate all this, but then it will be not useful to us every time, because suppose if our transaction history is very large, then or we are putting new stocks also, then we are not taking the use of Excel. So that's not a good way of doing it. Now let us move back to sheet 1. So moving back to sheet 1, we'll obtain number of shares. So for that we'll write here equal to, then we'll use the sum if function, equal to sum if, and we can see that range, criteria and sum range. So we'll move back to sheet 2. From here we'll take the column in which we are having the ticker symbol. So we'll select the whole column. Again remember that select the whole column. So click on the letter B and the whole column will be selected. Moving back to sheet 1, we'll put here comma, and then since we want to work for Reliance, we'll take the ticker symbol of Reliance, and then move back to here. We'll move back to sheet 2, and from here we'll take the number of shares. So we'll select the whole column in which the shares are there. So we'll click on the letter D, that is we'll select the column D and move back to sheet 1, and now we'll close the bracket and press enter. So here we can see that number of shares we have got, and when we move back to sheet 2, so we can see that the number of shares of Reliance and State Bank of India, Wipro and that of Infosys, total you will see that that is the same as the number of shares which we have got here. Next is average share price. So for that we'll use equal to, again we'll be using the sum if function, and for that we'll have to use sheet 2. What we'll do is we'll divide the portfolio cost by the total number of shares. So moving back to sheet 1, equal to sum if, again range, criteria and sum range. So for that we'll move to sheet 2. So here we are in the stocks, and here we are having this ticker symbol. So we'll select this whole column again. So we'll select we'll tick on B and then move back to sheet 1, and here put comma, and criteria we are working for Reliance, so we'll move to the ticker symbol of Reliance, click on that one, and then again put comma and move back to sheet 2. From here we'll take the column in which portfolio cost is there, and we'll take the whole column. So click on the letter F, the whole column will be selected. Move back to sheet 1. Now we'll close it and then divide by the number of shares of Reliance. So divide it, put slash, then click on number of shares. So press enter. So this will give us the Reliance share price of one stock, and similarly we are having here all the other shares average price. Next is portfolio cost. For that what we'll do is multiply the number of shares with the average price of share. So and press enter. So this will on pressing and yes. So here we have got the portfolio cost of all the stocks. Similarly for portfolio value, what we'll do is we'll multiply the number of shares with the latest price of one stock, one share. So here we have got the portfolio value. Next is profit or loss. For that equal to, will from portfolio value we will subtract the portfolio cost. So this is giving us all the profit or loss. Similarly for profit or loss percentage, we'll take the profit or loss that will divide by the portfolio cost and then multiply with 100. So yes, so this is what we have got. So this is what is our profit or loss percentage. Now we can see here that the number of decimals are more than 2. So we'll just reduce them from here. Just go on clicking it, and you can see that as we click on that one, the number of decimals are being reduced. So now it is 2 decimals. Next what we'll do is we'll drag it down, and all has become 2 decimals. So next is this portfolio weightage. So that will work out later on. Portfolio weightage will work out later on. That we'll do later on, because it will require the total portfolio cost of all the stocks which we have in which we have invested. So first of all, let us find this portfolio cost, total portfolio cost equal to sum, and now we'll add up all the these numbers so that we'll get the total portfolio cost. So pressing enter, so here we have got. Next, portfolio value, same way, equal to we'll write, and then select all the numbers in this column, equal to sum, then we'll select all the numbers in this column and then press enter. So here we have got that value. And now next, profit or loss is very again simple, portfolio value minus portfolio cost. So portfolio value minus portfolio cost. Next, we'll find the overall profit or loss percent in the whole portfolio, and for that we'll write here first equal to. So let's write here equal to first, and then we'll take the overall profit or loss. So overall profit or loss we have selected, and then that will divide by the overall total portfolio cost. So multiply then that with 100. So here we have got this is our overall profit or loss percent in the whole portfolio. Now we'll decrease the number of decimals because we want to keep it only till 2. So again, just clicking on that, and this will write later on. First, let's write here, this is write it total. So TOTAL. This correction, just we'll put here T, capital T. So here's now total. Next, just again let's try to reduce the number of decimals. So here we are just yes, now it is 2 decimals. Oh no. So going on reducing it, trying it, and yes, now it is 2 decimals. Next, we'll find the portfolio weightage. For that we'll write here equal to, we'll write equal to, and then we'll divide the portfolio cost of any particular stock by the overall, by the total portfolio cost of our the total portfolio cost of all the stocks. So portfolio cost of any particular stock divided by the portfolio cost of all the stocks, and that here we are getting it. So now next what we'll do is we'll have to multiply. You can see that here we are having this is not definitely it's not giving us weightage, so we'll multiply with this with 100. So when we multiply with 100, it will give us in percentage. So here we are having in percentage, and we can see that again it is not in 2 decimals, so we'll reduce the number of decimals, and for that here again we just select it, and then here decreasing the number of decimals. So clicking on that, and again clicking it, and again we'll do the same. So again we'll have to do it. Yes, now it is 2 decimals. Now next we'll find the sum of our all the portfolios, and see it is 100. So that means this is giving us all the weightage of all the portfolios. Now next let us color it. So for that we'll select, and whatever color we want to from here, let us take this say let us take this slight orange type, and here also we'll do the same. And for that just click on that fill color, and at the bottom here we'll color somewhat different, and just go in fill color, and from here let us take this light blue, and same we'll fill up here also, and this portion will just here we'll be doing conditional formatting. So for that we'll go in conditional formatting, and from here we'll change the we'll go in the new rule, and here greater than. So this profit or loss, when the number in this is greater than 0, we'll click on green color, so it will become all green. You can see that because all we are in profit. Now next let us do some more changes in this. We'll add more rule in this. Suppose we are getting a loss, so just we'll change this one greater than, click on that one, and from here we'll click on less than. So less than, and we know loss is when we are having less than 0. So less than 0, and from here let us click on, so many options are there, we'll click on red color. So when we click on that, when loss will be there, we'll be getting the red color. Now so this is now let us here select all this and click here at the bottom. So from here we'll go in fill borders and all borders, so that it will look nice. Now this is all you can see that we have from this we can get all the details of our portfolio, that how much cost is the number of shares and all that. Next let us go in sheet 2. Here also we are having the details, because this our we are having the table of transaction history here, and it tells us about our buy price and all this. Now let us decrease this buy price, so that I will show you that how this conditional formatting can be changed. So here I am buying the price of stock SBI at a higher price. So moving back to sheet 1, so you can see that as soon as we have changed the stock price of SBI, so what we are getting is the cell color has changed to pink color, or we can say that our numbers has changed to red. So this is because we are here, we are the current price is less and the buy price is more, so we are at a loss. Now next just let us change this stock market data sheet on Excel. So we'll select this one and merge it. So then let us color it also. So this yellow color will be okay. So coloring on that one, and let us shift this so we can keep it at a we'll put this at a proper position, proper place. So here we are, stock market data sheet on Excel. So next thing what we'll do is we'll select all of these and increase the font size to 14 or 16, whatever you. So I am selecting here 14. So now next we'll be going in sheet 2. Here also we'll just this transaction history will just select it and bring here, shifting it, and the next we'll again select the whole and click on merge, and here merge and center. So when we do it two times, it will move back to the same place. So again clicking on that, and next we'll select again this transaction history. So selecting it and then coloring it. So from here let us say color green color, and this table also we color it by different colors, so that it will look nice. So moving to more colors, and from here we'll just let us go in this purple colors, and this you can see this small ring is there, so that we'll drag it, and we'll take a light color, because light color will be helpful to us, so that we can see the numbers also. So here we are, so we have colored our table of transaction history, and let us increase the font size also. So it will be say to 14, so it will look nice. We'll move to sheet 1. So sheet 1, let us make it bold also. So here we are, stock market data sheet on Excel. Now we'll give some gap between the words stock market data, and here also some gap, here also some gap, and here also some gap will give. So now this will help us in tracking our investment. So whatever profit or loss we are having, this will help us in keeping a watch on that, so that and now at the last we'll just click on stocks and refresh all. See, when we click on refresh all, what will happen is that we'll get the latest price. And now at the end let us put rupee sign wherever it is applicable. For that we'll take the price column, that is the price, the latest price of the share, then the average price of share, the portfolio cost, the portfolio value, and the profit or loss. So first let us select this, the whole price column will select, and from here we'll go in this dollar sign, and after that more accounting formats. So we are in accounting. So if suppose the rupee symbol is not there, then just click here, and from the so many symbols you will find the rupee symbol. Click on that one and click OK. Now you can see that the latest price of the share, that is with the rupee symbol. Now next let us do the same for average price of the share, then the portfolio cost and the portfolio value and the profit or loss column. So we'll select all these four including the total, and again we'll do the same. So we'll click on this dollar sign here and we'll go in more accounting formats. From there this rupee symbol is already there, so we'll click on OK, and you can see that now all, that is the average price of share, portfolio cost, portfolio value and profit or loss, that is with the rupee sign, and already we are having the latest price of the stock, that also is in rupee symbol. So with this we have completed our stock market data sheet on Excel. So with this the practical is complete.